1983 was the year MTV changed everything. But it wasn't just Michael Jackson and Duran Duran who dominated the screen. There was a whole crop of bizarre, strange, and inexplicable songs that entered the charts, played on the radio, and everyone knew them for a few months before disappearing. But they existed, they were successful, and this video is about 7 of them. 7 hits from 1983 that you forgot existed, or maybe never even heard of, but that at the time were impossible to escape. Limahl, a 23-year-old boy working in bars in London, meets Nick Rhodes, keyboardist for Duran Duran, and gives him some demo tapes. Rhodes calls weeks later saying he wants to produce the band, and the name they chose was Kajagoogoo, which, according to bassist Nick Beggs, came from the sound goo gaga goo goo, reminiscent of a child talking. And the single Too Shy was their first big hit, with Limahl singing barefoot with a ridiculous mullet. And the song exploded. It reached number 5 on the Billboard Hot 100, number 1 in the UK, and for 3 minutes and 40 seconds, the whole world knew Kajagoogoo. Hey girl, move a little closer. And then, never again. The band fired Limahl back in 1983, tried to continue without him, failed, and today Too Shy is remembered as the pinnacle of bizarre new wave. That time when anything with synths and long hair became a hit, just because it had a music video on MTV. Shy, shy, hush, hush, After leaving Kajagoogoo, Limahl had a solo career, and in 1984 released Never Ending Story. Well, she may fade away. The song became another huge hit, especially in Europe and on MTV. So he didn't disappear completely, only the band never returned to the same level of success. Wall of Voodoo, a Los Angeles band that mixed new wave with country and Mexican music, released Mexican Radio, and the song is bizarre from the very first second. I'm on a Mexican radio. Stan Ridgway sings with a nasal, drawling voice, and the music video shows the band in settings that look like a cheap horror movie. And Mexican Radio reached number 58 on the Billboard Hot 100, and everyone listened to it and didn't know whether to like it or be scared. And the band never had another hit. Ridgway left in 1983 for a solo career that nobody remembers. And Wall of Voodoo became synonymous with a strange one-hit wonder. That song you listened to and thought, what is this? But couldn't get out of your head. And today, Mexican Radio is remembered as one of the most unique songs of the 80s, one that sounds like nothing else. And maybe that's why it worked. Because in 1983, MTV played anything as long as it was different. And Wall of Voodoo was definitely different. Taco Akersa, a Dutch singer that nobody knew, released a synth-pop version of Irving Berlin's 1929 song, Puttin on the Ritz, and the song became a hit.
Have you seen the well-to-do up and down Park Avenue?
It reached number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100, and the music video showed Taco in a tuxedo and top hat, with dancers performing synchronized choreography in a strange Art Deco aesthetic. And the most bizarre part is that Irving Berlin was 95 years old at the time, and this synth-pop version made him the oldest composer in history to have a song in the top 10. And Taco never had another hit. He became the perfect example of a one-hit wonder of the 80s. But in 1983, you couldn't turn on the radio without hearing Puttin' on the Ritz, with that synthesizer beat. And everyone sang along without knowing it was a 1929 song about rich people strolling down Fifth Avenue.
White spats and lots of dollars, spending every dime.
August 1983, and Genesis releases Mama, the first single from the album Genesis. And Phil Collins begins with a demonic laugh. transforms the song into something almost disturbing. And the song is about a prostitute and an obsessed client, with lyrics like, and this was Genesis, the band that made Selling England by the Pound, now making music about obsession with heavy electronic drums and a villainous laugh from a horror movie. Mama reached number 4 in the UK, number 44 in the US, and the video showed Phil Collins with theatrical expressions, dark lighting, and the whole band with an almost post-apocalyptic atmosphere. And that was the moment everyone realized that Genesis was no longer the progressive band of the 70s. It was a hit machine of the 80s. And Mama proved that they could be creepy, they could be strange, and still sell millions.
So say you help me, Mama.
The Scottish band Big Country released In a Big Country, and the sound was unique. Guitars that sounded like bagpipes, and that effect that Stuart Adamson created, transforming rock into something almost epic. And the song is about hope, about not giving up. But the music video is what makes this song unforgettable. It shows the band in open landscapes with an almost cinematic energy, as if it were the soundtrack to an adventure film that never existed. And In a Big Country reached number 17 on the Billboard Hot 100 and was their biggest hit in the United States. And today, it is remembered as one of the most cinematic songs of the 80s. And it's strange because they had other singles, other albums, but they never managed to repeat what In a Big Country did. And Stuart Adamson died in 2001, and the song remained as the legacy of a band that promised to be bigger than it was. Peter Schilling, a German musician nobody knew, released Major Tom Coming Home, a song clearly inspired by David Bowie's Major Tom.
Ground control to Major Tom.
Major Tom. And it became a hit. It reached number 14 on the Billboard Hot 100, number 1 in Canada, and everyone was listening to that pulsating story about the astronaut who doesn't want to return to Earth. And Schilling said it wasn't a direct copy, that it was just science fiction transformed into electronic pop. But everyone listened and thought of Major Tom. And the music video showed Schilling in space settings, with visual effects that looked like cheap Blade Runner. And he never had another hit. He became the guy from the Astronaut song.
What will it affect when all is done?
Even William Shatner did a cover in 2011. And Schilling must look at that and think that he made a song about science fiction and became science fiction himself. An artist who exists in another dimension, where there's only one song. A Los Angeles band that nobody gave a second thought to released Come On Feel the Noise, a cover of a 1973 Slade song.
So you sing my singing time, well, it makes me money.
The song exploded in a way nobody expected. It reached number 5 on the Billboard Hot 100, and vocalist Kevin DuBrow said the band didn't even want to record the song. They only did it because the producer insisted. And suddenly, they were the band that put metal on American radio. And the music video showed the band playing with the energy of someone who couldn't believe what was happening. And Come On Feel the Noise opened the doors for 80s metal. For Bon Jovi, for Poison, for Motley Crue. And it's ironic, because Quiet Riot never managed to repeat that same impact. They became synonymous with that specific moment, and Kevin DuBrow died in 2007. And the only thing many people remember is this cover of a British band, which, for some reason, in 1983, made perfect sense. 7 songs from 1983 that prove anything could become a hit, as long as it was big, strange, and impossible to ignore. 7 bands that existed for a few months and then faded into oblivion. And if you knew any of them, congratulations, you truly lived through the 80s. And if you didn't, now you know that a world existed where a waiter became a star for 3 minutes where a Dutchman made Irving Berlin enter the top 10 at 95 years old, where a band sang about Mexican radio with a ghostly voice, and where metal was born from a cover that nobody wanted to record. Leave a like if you want more videos about the 80s, subscribe to the channel, and comment which of these songs you remembered or which one you had never heard of.